Welcome. Everybody get hype in the chat. YouTube, say hi to Twitch, and Twitch, say hi to YouTube. What's going on? This is actually the most recent tournament that I came from, where I call it a learning tournament. Not one of my greatest tournaments, obviously. Of course, I had some losses. I had some draws, right? So, in fact, it was a difficult one. I did not norm in this tournament, but we did have a lot of learning from this, which is also very, very good. In fact, Kobe Bryant mindset, right? It's learning. You definitely get better from everything that you learn. And obviously, in this tournament, no different. So this game, I play Alexander Bettinelli. He's actually a FIDE master, FM, and an older gentleman, and he plays white. The ratings were high on the players. Yeah, everybody I played was high rated, besides like 2 or 3 players. But yeah, it's but still, it's a very. I learned so much from this tournament. I mean, really, it's probably honestly wasn't one of the greatest performance tournaments for me, but actually, it was one of the best learning tournaments. Like, I've learned more from this tournament than I have from tournaments that I did actually better in. Like, it's crazy. It's literally actually. I mean, I learned way more. I was like, bro, it's literally so cool how much I've learned. But here's what happens, right? So he go D4, I go knight f6, Mamba mentality, big fact. Shout out to him. May he rest in peace, right? Knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7. You already know what we do around here. KID, faux life, all day, every day. Y'all know we play King's Indian, right? So we love this, right? And he goes e4, I go d6. He goes bishop d3. And when he goes bishop d3, now here's what happened. I automatically was frustrated. I was like, bro, what? Like, so yeah, I was automatically frustrated because everybody plays every other Sicilian. No one plays this one like over the board. I mean, Yasser, this is the Yasser Sirwan variation. In fact, Yasser used to play it, but this ain't the days of Yasser no more. So don't nobody be playing this no more. But garbage. In fact, one time for the people in the back, please. Garbage. Thank you very much. Right. So people are not going to actually, like, if for an advantage, you're not trying to play this. Like, and this ain't no advantage, right? Bishop b, queen b3 or not, right? Kiki, right? Queen b3 actually is a move, but not here. You don't want to play queen b3 in these lines. That's more Grunfeldish, in fact. Taking notes, right? So bishop d3 is I'm like, okay. So from when he played bishop d3, I immediately here's two things two things happened in my mind. By the way, the title of this one for YouTube, guys, of course, when you're watching it, this one is called I Saw That, right? This one is called I Saw That. Okay, so when we get to that part, you're going to see it. This one, I saw that. Did he have somebody yell garbage out from behind? No, but in fact, somebody was, yeah, we're going to press it for him here. Garbage? Yeah, we pressed it for him because actually, bishop d3 is not like, you're telling me that you're okay with me getting some space and me being equal. Like, I was like, what? All right, cool, I'm fine. You know, that's the first part where I was kind of frustrated. The second part was that I haven't studied this line in a long time. Because don't nobody play this, right? So I'm just like, well, all right. I know I remember some of this, and then when I went to my new stuff, when I actually after I looked at this game in review, when I looked at my new stuff, like the stuff I'm supposed to play, I was like, well, shoot, I was playing all the old stuff. Bruh. That's all I knew, right? So here we go. He castles knight g2. He goes knight g to e2, and in these knight g to e2 lines, in fact, I can play it a little bit different now than how I played it, which I still need to study this because even now, I'm still kind of blurry on the lines. But knight to c6 is what I play because this is what I remember from a long time. He plays knight g2, I play knight c6, right? Very easy move to play. I develop my knight. He castles, thanks for the hype train chat. He castles, and then I go e5, which is a very simple move to make, right? And intending that if he goes d5, right? Now, where do we put this knight, chat? It's on you. It's always an interactive stream as we do this. Chat, you can put this in the chat, of course. Your answers. Where do we put the knight? Do we go to e7? Do we go to d4? Do we go to b4? Or a5? Or b8? Knight a5 not working, says Mad Quick Chess. Right. Plant. Nice. Plant it. Plant it on d4. e7, definitely not b8. That's in YouTube players. Rotate to the king side. 97 is very playable. 97 is very, very playable. But here's the, and this is like KID 101, right? For people that want to play the King's Indian defense. When you play 97, the problem here is the knight g3 option from white, which just gives them a better way to defend and also attack you, and kind of restricting some of your f5 play and some of your king side play that you usually get, like knight d7, f5. It's a little bit different. It's not the same type of play that you would get. But knight e7 is definitely playable. In fact, I'm a fan of the knight d4 because you just let me get a piece in the center of the board. So I go knight to d4, intending if knight takes, this is a line that usually could happen. Knight takes, right? He went knight e2 here. There is a knight b5. Yeah, right. That's, clap it up. There you go, Echo. You got it. That's right. Echo chess. Absolutely. I went knight d4. I did go knight d4, chat. All right, I did go knight d4 because you want to put the knight in the center. Yeah, you want to put the knight in the center. The pawn is good. In fact, the pawn is actually vulnerable. It does look weird. In fact, it does, right? It does. But the idea here is actually, in fact, twofold. Watch this. When he goes knight e2, what do you do? That rhymed. Chat, what do you do? After knight e2, what do you do? What do you do? We have c5. C5, okay. Oreo pawns. They call them boys Oreo pawns. He called them boys Oreo pawns. Okay, c5, knight d7. Take on e4, white and black pawns. c5, c5. Okay. c5s. Lots of c5s. Chat, yo, clap it up. Clap it up. That's fire. c5 is 100% garbage, bro. That is not a move. What are you doing with your life right now? It is not a move. After c5, I'm just going to take this. And then after I take this, I'm going to stare at you real hard. What you doing? Thanks for the freebie. Thanks for the free ski. Right? Just a free pawn for what? Why did you give him the pawn? You ain't got no tricks. You can't do anything. You literally, like, I mean, okay, you got some compensation. You got open file. You got the bishops. But if you are wrong, you're just down a pawn. For what? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Right? So it doesn't work. In fact, c5 does not work at all. In fact, here, the best defense is offense. It's rook to e8. That's the move right there. Yeah. You hit e4 at the same time. You take mine, I take yours. Same. Bishop takes, rook takes. I have a beautiful. I mean, this is looking great here for black, right? I'm even pressuring here. I have the initiative now. Initiative equals time and activity. So I have time and activity of the pieces now. So this is beautiful. So after rook e8, I'm attacking the pawn, forces in a concession in a way. He goes, actually not. He goes f3. After rook e8, he goes f3, and I'm already feeling good because Feingold says never play f3. So I'm like, let's go. I stand up in the chair and I'm like, I'm about to win because he played f3. That's immediately what I did. I was like, I'm about to win. He played f3. But it don't work like that. It don't actually really work like that, chat. In fact, it doesn't. Like, f3 is a fine move. He just defends the pawn on e4. He just defends the pawn. Well, right? He just defends the pawn. Nothing to really do about that. Now it's black to move. Now what do you do? Then I sat back down. Exactly, right. And I just sat back down. Okay. Maybe I'll take that advice from it, huh? Yeah, so what do you do now, though, chat? This pawn is actually hanging now. You actually have to deal with knight takes d4. This is a real threat, believe it or not. So you better deal with this, and you better deal with this fast and now. Interesting to see how you did it. Yeah, of course, because this is not easy to define this one. Knight d7. Knight d7 covers the pawn. Not exactly, because knight takes d5. That's true. That's exactly. Knight takes d5 actually is a move. He's saying that if you play something like a6, if knight takes d4, knight takes d5. So let's show that here. A takes here. This is the idea, which becomes just super equal. I would still take black because white's bishop is pretty ugly, but the idea here is that your piece is very loose. So we will be able to get that back there. But in fact, Padaka has it. It's c5 now. Yes, that's what I played. I played c5 now, right? So I'm going to get the structure going. But if he en passants, which he doesn't do, but if he en passants and then knight takes d4, oh my goodness, here it goes. Now here come the tactics, right? I was looking at queen b6, and also the engine says I can play knight takes e4, but that one I didn't remember the line. And I'm like, I'm not about to go through something I don't remember all the way. But it looks like this: knight takes e4, and then d5. What a move! Oh my goodness, d5 is gross, right? It's a crazy move. It hits the bishop, and this is very important. If takes, right, pawn takes. As soon as you move the bishop, you're gonna move it, right? As soon as you move the bishop, Then queen b6. It doesn't matter where you put it, but the knight goes here, and the intention was to clear the way for you to stop bishop e3. That is so crazy. That's such a crazy line. And I remember this from King's Indian stuff. But queen b6 is nasty, right? And you see that echo that crazy, right? He was looking at this. Yeah, that's nice. The whole idea was with that. I forgot about that. And I've seen this idea before, and I couldn't remember if that was it. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to be wrong here and be out here like looking crazy. So I did not do that. But in fact, and I wasn't going to go for that. What I was going to go for was this line here, queen b6, which I saw bishop e3. And my calculations, if I take on b2, I'm out here looking crazy. What are you doing with your life? Right. And then when I saw knight g4, which is a big boy move. Knight g4, hitting, splitting. That's a beautiful move, hitting here, right? So pawn takes doubles the pawns. This is more Grunfeldish. And then bishop takes d4. Bishop takes, queen takes. I calculated all of this. I saw a rook f2 here. And after rook f2, I was going to take on g4. Bishop takes, I saw queen takes g4. After queen takes, I saw queen d7. And this is what I was looking at. After queen d7, he's attacking all of this and this. But this is defended. And then in calculation, I saw queen takes c4 and queen takes d6. And then I saw rook takes e4. And I stopped calculating right here like a beast. Woo! Jeez! I was ready. And this is where I stopped calculating, and I was like, I should be winning, or at least I have an initiative with the rook being able to hit this boy this way. Right. So I saw all of this. This is my line. I was going through this. How do I see all that? It's working more on calculation. And what I learned here, the whole tournament overall theme was more calculation for me. I need to do more of it. I need to be more accurate with it. And I can save myself from certain situations that I got myself into. But I know that I'm going on the right track, to say the least. But calculation, I need to work more on. And that's funny because I just showed y'all that. And I'm like, yeah, I need to work more on calculation. Like that's just a sad part of chess, guys. Sorry. So, okay, let's go back here. But let's go back. So c5, he goes bishop g5. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Bishop g5. So I'm chilling. And then I go queen b6, right? Did you see the game where you used the wrong rook? I did take Thieves. In fact, we're going to talk about that. Take Thieves. We are going to talk about that when we get there. Bryce Rogers. Thanks for the follow, Matt. Quick checks. Thanks for the 10 piece too as well. All right, so queen b6. They said this was an inaccuracy. h6 was best, and I kind of saw h6, but I kind of wanted to keep the option, of him keeping the knight. I wanted him to have the option of him is he gonna take the knight or not? Because I was actually gonna move the knight like this. Because if I play h6, he's probably gonna take it, and I really want to keep the knight, to be honest. To be honest, all right. I'm saying I am actually supposed to calculate during all those games. I keep blundering. Correct. Calculate. Right. Don't even know how to tag you funny. So queen b6, right? Queen b6 hitting b2, and then he goes queen d2, which is a simple move. He defends. h6, but don't know firm reason why computer's like, yeah, because I don't like the h6. And let's just actually look at this. After h6, bishop takes. I didn't just like the fact that, okay, yes, I have the bishop pair, but so what? And what if he even goes f4? I mean, he can't really get e5, but the fact that I can't do much, look at black's position, right? What do you actually do? You know what I'm saying? You don't have any. I mean, maybe I could go bishop g4 and try to trade this off, but then I'm not playing for a draw right here. This is all locked up. It ain't fun. It's boring. Exactly, Warshap. I don't have the breaks. He's always going to stop that with an easy a4. I don't have f5. What bro, g5 is g3. I can't break here. I'm not sacrificing. The bishop has no good targets. I'm just going to probably trade it off. Go to an opposite color bishop in game. Not looking like the most fun. So I didn't like h6 at all. So I went for something that was more tricky. Yo, hey, ha! There he is. Ben Feingold. We just shouted you out, actually, Big Feingold. Shout out to Big Ben. Ben Feingold with the 12 month streak, 18 months. Thanks for being sub to the channel. My guy. Hey, I went from channel. What up, Gregor? What's up? What's good, man? Good to see you. Yeah, Ben Feingold heard about the f3. Yeah, I was telling them that as soon as he played f3, I immediately stood up and was like, I'm winning. He played f3, and I was like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I knew I was gonna win. I knew as soon as right here. This is my first round of my last tournament. When he played f3, it was a wrap. It was literally. He played f3, and I was smiling. I stood up, it's my move. I walk around. I'm rubbing my hands together. And then I realized it's not over yet. Bruh. I still got to keep playing. I thought it was just over after f3. But, I felt good because Feingold say never play f3, right? So that happened, right? But after f3, c5, and then bishop g5, I go queen b6. And then queen d2. Right, queen d2 happens, and then I go knight d7. So I was like, cool, he lets me keep the knight, because I wanted to keep the flexibility, with the knight. Thanks for Krieger. Krieger, what up, man? Ooh, coming in with the 10-piece. 10 subs there, baby. Thanks for the 10-piece. Chat, let's get some hype for that. Thanks for the 10. So I go knight d7, right? Knight d7 with this knight e5 type of idea. Something similar. But again, I don't like this position. And, as I looked at my files, there's better ways to play how I played. Better ways to play this opening. Because this way, it's just all locked up. It's draw. It's super equal. Went with the fine gold merch on. Later be Canty. All right, MD Knight. What up, Edwin? What's good, bro? Yeah, it was just, it's kind of locked up. I didn't like this. So white continues with h4, which I was like, what is he doing? h4? I'm like, you trying to mate? Like, I don't see that. I did not expect h4. So I'll go 95. And then he go h5. I'm like, what? Bruh. And I'm like looking at him like all sideways. Like not really, but really like looking at him like all sideways. What are you doing, bro? h5. So I just let him do it. And then here I realized, all right, cool. Let me just get my queen back h4, h5 can opener. Exactly. I'm like, man, go ahead, open up. He might help me open up too. Yeah, so all right, what happens? I go queen c7 to back up, and he goes h takes g6. Now, how do you capture, guys? Do you capture with f or do you capture with h? Which way do you capture? Thanks for the follow, King John the Gamer. Towards the middle, BG Yoshi. H, we got 2 for f there, 1 for h. H takes. Capture with the knight. Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. Chaley with knight takes g6. Knight takes g6. Thanks for the follow. Death Cruiser, knight takes. Knight, okay. Okay. Knight takes. Interesting. If you don't know, I am a gamer. Wow, I didn't know that, King John the Gamer. I never would have thought that from you, my guy. But that's sweet, man. Thanks for letting me know. And thanks for being here. I appreciate my content. I say F and H. Yeah. In fact, so if you said knight, I mean, like, clap it up for yourself right there. Man, that's amazing, right? It's interesting, right? It's just interesting how, garbage that move is, right? It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And the reason for this is after knight takes g6, is there's a move like knight g3 and f4, right? Knight g3 and f4 and f5 is real. This is a real thing. And your pawn's looking crazy. Open up shop. King file with a smile. You're looking crazy. Let's flip the board. Would you rather be white here or would you rather be black, chat? Would you rather be white or would you rather be black in this position? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're about to flip this board again. We're about to flip this one. Yeah, come on now. So we're not taking that way. So after pawn takes, right, H or F, in fact, taking towards the center is actually the correct way of doing things. It's taking this way. But I actually went the other way. I went with F takes G6. With the idea of I actually do want to kind of play Rook F8, Rook F7, Bishop D7, Rook A to F8, Bishop back to C8, and kind of hold. I know his play is going to be on F4, and maybe my knight can go to G4. In many cases, with the bishop on G5, I can play H6, bishop back up to H4, maybe H5, and bishop H6, using the E3 square as well. There's a lot of ideas here, taking with the F pawn. So I wanted to keep the F file open. So after F takes G6, he goes A4. He stops my B5 stuff. I go Rook F8, right? I'm following the plan, right? And then he goes Rook A3. I'm like, cool, okay, I understand. Rook A3, right? Bishop D7. And then, here we go. He goes Knight to C1 here. He goes Knight C1. Interesting. He goes Knight C1. And I was like, okay, I know I have it here. And I had this plan, guys. Let me show you the plan. I got it right here. I play Rook F7. And then he goes Bishop E to E2. Bishop E2. I double up. It goes B3. And here we go. This is the part of the video where I said, right, the beginning of it was, what's the name of it called? I saw that, right? This is the name if you're watching it from YouTube again, right? This is going on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to it if you haven't. But it's, I saw that, right? This is the part of the video that is, the whole title of the video is about this right here. I saw this, guys. I saw what I'm about to show you here. And I tell you, a lot of times it's learning in tournaments. Learning and the calculation here is you just have to trust yourself a little bit more, and you have to calculate deeper, and you do have to take more time. Which I realized that in the later half of the tournament, taking more time actually and calculating more deeper is actually required of me to find certain variations, and especially this one right here. Let me show you what it is. So in fact, here's the move that I played. I played A5. This is the move I played. But let's go back and let me show you a line that I calculated that was actually correct. And if I would have kept looking, I would have been able to follow. I would have been able to. Here's the thing, guys. It's hard to keep. If I keep saying calculate one more move, you will never stop calculating. But at the same time, you do gotta keep calculating one or two more moves. Try to, because this is a situation where if I would have calculated one or two more moves, I would have been there. Here's the line that I saw. Watch this right here. Watch this. So I was gonna play H6. I was ready to play H6. I was like, what would Uncle Tao, what would Grandfather Tao do and Uncle Nesmuddin off do, right? They would sack some stuff, get the file open, and try to mate the man. That's what I would do. So I was gonna play H6 with the intention. Why is it crazy? Right? He can take it. It's a free pawn. So after Bishop takes, I saw this. Queen takes. First line I looked at was Rook H7. And then after Rook H7, he could go Queen. I was looking at Queen G5. And then I could play something like Rook H5. But then he goes Queen G3. And the problem is F4 is now hitting H5. My whole idea was also with Queen D8 and Queen H4, also maybe trying to get this over here and mate him, because these pieces are on the wrong side of the board. He also has issues. So if he tries to run away, I also have a Knight G4 check, in many cases with Knight E3. Disgusting stuff. Absolutely gross, right? So, but the problem here is his queen nicely places everything. His queen is nicely placed here. So I needed to stop something. What do I mean? Let's go back here, right? After Bishop takes, Queen takes, I have to do reverse the move order Queen D8. I knew this, right? So I was like Queen D8 because it stops Queen G5. So then I was like, okay, what if he tries F4? This is exactly what I was going to look at, because this is the most critical. He needs to get his queen back. I'm threatening. Here, what's the threat? The threat here was like, let's make a random move. I'm going Rook H7, and then when you move your queen, I'm going mate. This was my whole idea, guys. I mean, I really saw this. Like, I saw this. And this is why, of course, calculation was the biggest key to my to this tournament on things that to work on, obviously, and trusting more in my calculation, obviously. But I definitely saw this, and I was like, man, I'm going to mate him if I could get this off, right? I mean, it's beautiful. I was Queen H1 mate. It's not. You go Knight G4, though, next, and then Queen H1. So it's like no way to stop it. But I mean, you could also, I mean, maybe, yeah, I think Knight G4 should be mating, right? And then F3, and if you go F4, I have D3, which is a beautiful move. In fact, let me see what the engine says. Engine says right now, oh my goodness, this is gross. Bruh. Engine says it's made in 13. So it's made in 13, right? After D3. And let me see. And then before D3, it's made in 12. And then right here after Queen H4, it is minus 11. Now minus 24. Gross. Minus 24. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. Yeah, mating attack, right? Made in 13, obviously, right? Exactly. Yeah. So, but after Queen D8, simple made 13. Exactly, guys. Simple. So after Queen to D8, though, Queen to D8, this was my idea. He was going to play F4, which I saw that in calculation. Remember, I told you I saw this, right? F4, I saw Rook H7, I saw Queen G5, I saw Queen takes, I saw Pawn takes, I saw Rook takes, I saw Bishop takes, and I stopped calculation right here. Bruh. Don't stop the calculation. Don't stop the calculation. It's very hard to calculate, obviously, this deep, but I have to keep going. And Rook H4 is just winning for black. Rook H4 is just a win. Sorry, that's Rook H5. Rook H4 is just winning. The Rook is out of play. After Bishop to D3, I go Rook, Knight takes D3, Knight takes, and then I win. And I'm just winning. And I'm like, bro, oh my goodness. If I would have calculated a few more moves, I would have found this. Right, they need to calculate 30 moves sometimes. Well, I'm starting to see that, right? Because this is, I could have played this in the game and had this position as opposed to let's go back. And no, it wasn't fatigue here, chimpanzee. It was more of I don't know. And it's a long line. Like we think about where we are right now from this right here. It's not fatigue at all, curious chimpanzee. This line started from right here at H6, right? You have to go. I have to see everything in between H6, Bishop takes. After Bishop takes, Queen takes. I have to go Queen D8 instead of Rook H7. Queen D8, F4 has to be critical. After Rook H7, there's Queen G5, take. You got Rook takes. And then Bishop takes, I have to go Rook H4. There's also Rook H5. Then Bishop D3, and after takes. And then evaluate in my head without the pieces moving, what this position looks like from right here. You know what I mean? This is the part that makes it hard, Curious Chimpanzee. It's like a level 50 puzzle. Exactly. So calculation is one thing that I'm working on constantly every day right now, especially after I've left the tournament, because I figured out that that was one thing that I saw as a common theme. If I would have calculated a little bit more, if I would have one more move, if I would have saw that, okay, cool. I know I need to push that button more. So I need to work on that more. Let me show you what actually happened. Show what actually happened. Double isolated. I mean, yeah, but I mean, would you rather be black or white in that position, right? You know, Matt Quick. It is yeah, it's double isolated, and like, you know, it's not like, you know, a happiest position, but maybe I can anchor on F5 and maybe try to push. I maybe not even, I mean, this is here forever too as well, so I'm not even worried about this. Maybe try to push, use this, but it is definitely a push for black. Definitely black's pushing for more here. Definitely. And but it is it's don't take some precision. This ain't just over, but definitely some precision. And it would be definitely more than what I got here. After I played A5, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's see what he does. He goes knight D3. I played B6 to lock everything up. He plays rook A to E1. And then I realized here, you know, actually the engine says I should still play H6 and go for the same line, but it ain't the same anymore. It doesn't feel the same. He got a knight on D3 now. I mean, this is different. So I go bishop F6 just to see if he'll trade. And then I realize, bro, this could be bad real fast if he takes this. Because the fact that after bishop takes, rook takes, then I realized, wait a second, he could go, I didn't like F4 right here. And then after knight takes, after bishop takes, he has E5 coming after rook E8, E1. I was like, how do I even stop this? Like, how do I even stop this? So I was actually slightly panicking. I was like, maybe I have to go here. And then after here, I have to go like rook here or something. But I was like, because if I am wrong, I lose. Because like an engine says right here, let me see what the engine says. I think the engine says, yeah, queen F7, right? And the engine, I'm like, queen F7, the engine's tripping. Engine's tripping. I'm like, queen F7, this don't even feel right. And letting E5 happen. And then I'm supposed to take on F4 and allow this pawn to get in here. I'm like, bro, this is not what we wanted. This is furthest away from what we wanted here. This pawn is way too strong. Like, and look at my bishop. I'm supposed to be okay. This is supposed to be fine for me. Like, this is not a human line. Exactly. Like, this is not supposed to be fine. So I didn't like this at all, and I was like, dog, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And I was like, dang, I should have went for that line. Like, I would rather be fighting in that line that I have initiative than be trying to hold in this position and scared that he has F4, E5. And if he gets that off, I'm losing. Right. So okay, he goes rook E1. I go back and I offer a draw here. And he's like, yeah, bro, take it. I'm like, bet. We out of here. Get out of here now before this get bad. So I'm like out of here, dog. Cause I'm like, I was just gonna like shuffle. And I'm like, ooh, but no, we can't get back to this line because everything's all consolidated. When his pieces were on knight C1 and rook A3, that was the time to go for it. The eval right now gives it 0.5, 0.53. Did white have to take the pawn in the H6 line? That's a great question from Matt Quick here. Actually, right here. In this position, actually, no, not this one. After B3 instead of A5, after H6, he doesn't have to take it, which I did calculate. He doesn't have to take it. Boo, I know, right? I know, right? But it was the first round, and you starting with two blacks is very tough. All right. Yeah, I calculated like, you know what? Let me just get out of there. But I saw that, again, the title is called I Saw That, right? Because I saw this nasty line that he can take this. And I can go rook h7 after queen d8 and have all this stuff. But again, evaluation is very difficult to do. And this is why you have to keep constantly working on your calculation for that to be accurate. But he could just go back, right? And I was like, what if he just goes back somewhere? And if he does, then I'm fine. And I think I was going to be fine here because I was going to play g5. And then when he moves his bishop, well, now I have the f4 square. Like, so not even have it, but I mean, I'm good. Like, I feel great. I feel great as black here. Maybe play a5 now. And just expand, maybe not let him play b4 ever. a5, b6, and then slowly do stuff over here, probably. Slowly push like that. But there's time. I mean, there's stuff to do, so I just liked it. I thought that this would be better for black. g5, fight for f4. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I like this. But this is King's Indian style, right? Man, quick, you know. Maybe f4 gets in terms. Is my fear. That's true. That's true. If f4, though, and let's see, like, what do we play? I don't know. Maybe a5, f4. f4 takes. Maybe queen d8, bishop g4. I like queen d8. And sack the pawn. Can I do that? Bishop takes, rook takes. Oh my goodness. Queen h4 takes. Mates, bro, you see the attack I get? I don't know if that works, but you see the attack. Like, you gotta be careful out here, dog. This thing is, it's scary. It's very scary because the pieces are so ready to just go crazy. In there, maybe 93 prep F4 is what I'm thinking. Yeah, and that's the whole idea, is that F4 idea, and this is why I was like, yo, if this works, like, I'm in trouble. So this is why, again, I saw the fact that I should have played this crazy H6 thing, which could have been super cool, right? Which could have been super cool. And G5 is very committal, right? But it is the fact that F4 is happening anyway, and I can't really stop it. So I would rather get rid of the pawn than let him keep it. I would rather probably play G5 and worry about the other thing than having to deal with F4 comes with E5 in a lot of cases. I was always scared of, if F4, I move the knight, he chops the knight and then play. His whole play is F4 E5. If that ever happens, I like lose. But got to draw in this game, so I was able to prep for the next round and like, whew, man, like, whew. Got up out of there. That was crazy. I could have got bad. So this was the first round, guys. So we'll come in round 2 tomorrow. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already.